Hello everyone, my name is Nicola. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my living room. Today I'm gonna show you process how I turned my sketched idea on paper into reality. So this whole living room makeover will consist of 4 major segments. Building a fireplace TV stand element, adding wall texture in form of wall paneling, introducing new furniture, and adding new art and lighting. I'm so excited about this project. I've had this idea for months and months, endlessly thinking about it and designing it. So I can't wait to finally start doing it. But before any of that, let me first show you how this space is looking right now. This is the largest room in my apartment. It's oriented to south, and with these huge windows, room is always super bright and airy. It's directly connected to dining room through the opening portal which I already painted in my kitchen and dining room makeover. Although the room is big, this sofa is just too large for this space, while on the other hand this rug is too small, so I'll have to address that. And this TV stand just needs to go, I hate it. When it comes to the design style, just like in kitchen and dining room, I want to combine Scandinavian design style with elements of traditional, and I call that vintage Scandi. But in the living room I think it's gonna lean more towards the Scandi side. Here are some examples what I'm thinking about for this space. I really like this idea of somehow introducing this bold dark fireplace element in the middle of the room, where everything else is built and incorporated around. Let me try explain you. There are 2 imaginary axes that runs in this part of apartment, with specific elements at each end. First one connects pantry and balcony, so on one side is arched doorway and black segmented door on the other side. Second one runs perpendicularly from dining room wall with these pictures, through a portal with transom window towards the living room. That ending point in the living room is natural focal point where I want to put that statement and bold element. So I decided to build it myself. And here is my final sketched idea. There are 3 functions that I want to achieve with this. A. It needs to be structure on which TV can be mounted and all the cables can run inside so it can have a really clean look. B. This arched nook area right above the floor, which can be used as a place for candles and books to create that cozy, warm, welcoming feeling in the living room. And C, to have top mantle surface that can be used for displaying art and decor. To bring this idea to life, I need to transfer it to a 3D program in order to create detailed plans for its construction. I started modeling from a simple box shape until I got exactly what I wanted in terms of form. For this element to be that bold focal point, I want it to be really dark, just as I have black countertops in the kitchen and black balcony door in the dining room. After that I can work on interior structure. After a few days I have final version of this project, and I also created list of necessary materials and segments with dimensions. I bought all the materials I need and have come to my weekend house where I plan to cut and prepare all the parts before assembling them in the apartment. The weather is fantastic and I have much more space to work here. There are 3 main materials that I'm gonna use. 5 by 5 centimeters profile solid wood for the main construction. Miter saw would be great here, but it's not that hard to do it manually. I'm using this jig to have nice straight cuts. Then 2 cm thick solid wood boards, which will be used for outside wrapping of the main structure. I'm using a jigsaw, and the only slightly tricky part was cutting out the half circle shape from the bottom part. And lastly, for all the curving parts, I'm using 3mm thick MDF board. It's super flexible and easy to cut, and I love using this material in various ways. I wanted to achieve an identical shape as my 3D model, so for these little side parts I created paper template to outline it and cut it precisely. I have all the parts that I marked accordingly, and I'm heading back to town to start assembling it. I removed this long ottoman from the living room, and I will be replacing it with something different, but more on that a bit later in the video. Now I can assemble a new element here and then move it to the right location. I anticipated that this task would take a few days, and I wanted to avoid disrupting the entire room right from the start. I'm gonna use screws, nails and a bit of glue for joining. The MDF board wasn't thick enough for the top curved surface, so I opted for a polyurethane board from the hardware store. It had the right thickness for a seamless joint and created the perfect curvature. I was super pleased how this turned out, so I continued with the next step, and that was cutting out openings for cables and mounting brackets for TV that I'm gonna attach later. It was truly wonderful to see the final form come to life for the first time, just like in my drawings. My initial plan was to use plastic mesh and plaster to get the final texture, but to make it more easier and quicker, I decided to use this wood paste to cover all surfaces. I tested it before, it's strong and it won't chip away, so I applied first coat. I finally moved it to its location and secured it to the wooden beam that I attached to wall. The second coat is dry, so I just need to do a final sanding to have a smooth surface that's ready for painting. The surface is smooth, but it does have a slightly texture, like a plaster texture, which I really like. And now I'm gonna show you the colors that I prepared for this living room. So this is the main color for the walls. It's an off-white color. It's the same tone that I used in dining room and kitchen, but just the lightest shade. And this is color for the fireplace. It's basically a black color, but it does have slightly greenish bluish undertone. I really like it here. We'll see how it will be when I put it on the surface. So I first painted color on the wall. Then I'm gonna put masking tape around it and paint it again, so the color that bleeds through the tape will be the same wall color. And then after that I can paint this structure black, and it will have really crisp, clean line. I applied first coat while listening to Gigi talk, chirp and even bark, as you heard. And after a few hours I painted second coat, which was enough for a full coverage. I don't have a lot of stuff and furniture in my living room, especially on the biggest wall, so I wanted to add additional layer and light monochrome texture to it with panel molding. There is a lot of options to choose, but I managed to figure out what would work the best for me. This is the profile that I'm gonna use. It's simple but not symmetrical, and it will add character and touch of elegance in the room. Here is my plan, how I arrange them to create overall balanced composition. One panel here, one here, one a bit shorter here, one above the element, one here, and one on this wall. Additionally, to further add emphasis on this vertical focal point, I'm gonna use these ornate pieces in these four corners. With painting, this will really start to look cohesive, and instead of existing peachy color, I'm opting for an off-white shade that harmonizes better with the overall design and furniture. The moment I've been waiting for so long, to finally see it incorporated in the wall with panel molding and new colors together creating this unique look. Just look at these elegant curves. For this to have that minimalist elegant look, TV needs to be really thin. Ideally that would be one of those frame TVs, but I found this other Samsung alternative and cheaper option. In thickness it's only around 25mm, so for now this is going to be okay, and later I can switch to a frame TV as my original idea. I like how it's unobtrusive and how well it blends in with its surroundings. This design decision comes from me only liking when TV is in the eye level when sitting on sofa. I don't like when it's hung too high, it just feels out of place and uncomfortable to watch it. I won't be changing sofa for now, and with a different rug and a few other things. This will be that pure Scandi minimalism, but now I want to add more traditional elements. Rug is one of the defining elements in any style, and for me it's sometimes hard to find the right one. Eventually I settled on this one from Zara Home that I thought would be a good option. But on the day I was ordering, I changed my mind and picked a completely different one. One with a lot more colors and patterns, definitely more risky one. But it didn't take me long to figure out that it was perfect. It added that warmth and traditional home feeling, while providing contrast between stark black and white background. The salmon and brown bluish colors in it works amazing with this sofa, and I will pull out some of those colors into other decors and art to get more cohesive look. Here I want to create small reading nook area. I'm using this IKEA Eket element in this nice yellow ochre color that I slightly modified by adding legs to lift it up a little bit from the ground. I'm bringing back my old coffee table, which is totally okay, I guess. And next to IKEA element is perfect place for a nice armchair. But I just need more time to find the right one. So for now I bought this little cute thing that can easily be moved around and provide extra seating place. In my kitchen makeover video, I said that I need to learn some electrician related work. And here I am, attempting to change main light in the living room. I removed the old ceiling light, and I thought that this simple rosette will add extra detail to tie in with wall paneling molding. Connecting wires wasn't hard, it's just that I'm scared of touching wires, even though the breaker is off. I was super happy that I didn't have to call someone else to do it for me. And now I can attach this pendant light that I got from IKEA. I plan to use this lamp from Yisk in the reading nook. In the last couple of months, I've been visiting my local thrift marketplace and primarily looking for frames and art pieces. Over time, I collected a bunch of them. And this time I also got these vintage IKEA LEDs that will be perfect for Christmas decoration. I went through a selection and narrowed it down to these that I'm gonna use. My idea is to create small clusters throughout the room, and I started with this one that I really wanted to be bold and colorful. I like to mix different types and sizes of frames, and for the ones that I found without glass, I add a thin sheet of plexiglass. For the place above the element, I kept it really simple and used these frames that are similar as one across the other side in the dining room. so many ways this little space can be styled and used. I thought that adding books and LED candles would bring out that cozy nostalgic vibe, which I really like. And also this really interesting looking pendulum clock. This makeover turned into something truly special, and I'm so excited to show you the reveal clips. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and that I inspired you in some way. I would like to ask you to consider subscribing to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram for more behind the scenes moments. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and I'll see you soon in the next project. Bye!